Bonjour! Today we are going to choose the pattern that we are going to crochet from our French book. So this is Crochet Kawaii. We have several different designs. So I'm going to look through the book for the first time. We're going to see what animals are available and decide which one's the cutest or which one strikes my fancy the most, and we're going to make that one. So, we're going to flip through them and we're going to see what we have. So it starts out with a table of contents, which is lovely. It's like we have all these different choices that we're going to be looking for. These look like they're cute and small. So this looks like the introduction. Oh my gosh. They're setting the bar. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. I know exactly what it is. It's La Basette. It's a basset hound. Oh my gosh. I haven't gotten the newspaper in over a decade, like delivered to the house, but there's this cartoon I used to read. It was like Fred the Basset Hound. It's like Fred the Basset Hound. That might be the title. But it's basically about like this little, it reminds me of that comic. Oh my gosh. This also looks like really, really small. Comparatively speaking, that's not that many stitches. So it has like techniques and materials and whatnot. It's strange. Like most of the time when I get a book like this, it doesn't go straight into the patterns like this. It goes into the techniques and the materials and whatnot, and that usually happens at the beginning, and the abbreviations happen at the beginning. So I'm kind of hoping this all happens toward the end. There's not really any description for the animals. I can kind of guess. But if it doesn't have these descriptions, it could be a little bit harder, considering that I gave myself the rule that I can't go to Google or like use any other translating website. I just got to rely on the book itself. Although I can rely on the other book to help me out. But that's a knit book. This is a crochet book. They don't necessarily talk about the same thing. There's not that many pictures either. There's usually just the one picture. Les fawn. This is a fawn. This is like a little Bambi. I also do appreciate that they're trying to make it look like the actual animal instead of just giving it a... Like lots of stuffed animals, they give them like the teddy bear body. And then you change like the little features depending on like, oh, this is a squirrel as compared to a rabbit. So we'll just make the ears longer on the rabbit and the tail longer on the squirrel. All good. Here it's more like, no, the fawn stands on 4 legs like that. We're going to make it look like that. I can respect that. Le Ren. Or Le Renne? I don't know. This is a reindeer. Helpful with the Christmas tree decoration, honestly. Oh, uh-oh. in this pattern, I think the patterns are meant to build on each other, because I just saw a sentence that said, "Ríeles les orejas como se les tufón," which is basically make the ears exactly like the ears in this other pattern. Which I guess it's a good thing I'm looking through the book now and I'm looking at like the different patterns. So in case I get an instruction like that, I know which pattern I'm flipping to. Le mouton. Oh, this is adorable. This is adorable. These are sheep. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know how they did that. But like, I can already tell. Like, you know it's a good pattern book when you see like multiple designs and you go like, I want to make that, right? Like my more successful books that I've relied on in the past, I've made about a third to a half of the patterns in there. My less successful books, I've made like one pattern, if any. So if I see like multiple patterns in like the same book, it's like, oh, I want to make this pattern and this pattern and this pattern. Then it's like, yeah. Especially since these are like pretty small anyway. So these, like most stuffed animals, like when you make them, they're like about this big. The impression the pictures are giving me of these stuffed animals is that they're going to be more like that big. Like you just slide them in your pocket and then you take them out to a friend. It's like, here, I got this just for you. Just because. You're special today. You deserve it. Oh. The agnew. There's no picture. Oh. These are two different patterns. These are two different patterns. So one is le mouton and one is le agnew. Okay. Never seen that before. Le renard. We got ourselves a little fox. I could take it or leave it with foxes, honestly. I have both positive and negative associations with them. L'Ors Blanc. Or is it Blanc? Blanc? Blanc sounds more French. Anyway, this is a polar bear. Which they're trying to take a picture. I guess they want to like. I guess in this book they want like all the backgrounds to be the same for all the animals. But trying to take a picture of a white polar bear against like a grayish background is very hard to see. Which in their natural habitat is very similar to how they would be in their natural habitat. So yeah. And Lord's Run! You made a white bear. How about a brown one? It's interesting. Like, you see actual bears in the zoo. And, like, or in the wild. And it's like every time I see them in one of those environments, I'm reminded that they're actually predators. They're actually very dangerous creatures. But they look so soft and fluffy. It's like, it's understandable why they would become a toy. Oh my gosh. It's kind of like you have the actual object and then you have what it morphs into afterwards through like all the associations and art and whatnot, and like sometimes the item gets oversaturated, like the Eiffel Tower or the movie franchise Frozen, because I saw, like, I was sick of Frozen before I ever watched it, because just Elsa was everywhere. Oh my gosh. And then I actually watched Frozen. I borrowed Frozen from the library, and I had my parents and my sister and sister-in-law sit through it, and it's like, this is actually a really good movie. It's like the same thing with bears, you know? Like, there's so many pictures of bears out there as cute and cuddly things. But then you see, like, a bear in person, and they're still cute and cuddly, but it's like, oh my god, this is a predator. And to think that bear is a euphemism. Like, apparently bear had another name. But people refused to say it because they were superstitious, and they were afraid it would summon the bear. So they wouldn't say the bear's name, and so bear became like, it must, that which must not be spoken of, you know. Anyway, that was my little rant for right now. Le menu. Oh, cute little birds. If you have me coming to this after watching, like, my knitting thing where I go on a rant about birds, these are proper birds. These have wings. They may not have feet, but they have wings. Anyway, that, oh, you know what those birds look like, though? I have what I call, like, the simple project. So the simple project is something that you make when you just want to finish something quick. You want something cute and adorable. It's like, you don't know what to make, well, you make one of these. This seems like it could become a simple project. In fact, the name of my channel, The Knitted Fish, and like the fish that shows up like at the beginning and end of my videos, that is an example of another simple project. I've made like over 100 of those fish. I did not create the pattern for those fish, but I created over 100 of those fish. Because it was a very simple pattern, I didn't have to think. It was just like, oh yeah, let's just make all the fish. La licorne. Oh, this is a unicorn. Look at that. Oh, I accidentally bent the page. Unicorn! Unicorn! It's a pity unicorns don't exist, because, I mean, all that really makes them different is they've got a sharp weapon attached to their head. And, like, it seems plausible that they should exist, right? I remember thinking, like, I remember the day I found out narwhals existed, like, actually in person. Oh, I don't remember, like, the exact day, but I remember, like, a lot older than I care to admit at the time. It was like, wait, that's not a mythical animal. Narwhals actually exist. And they're like, yeah, Becky, narwhals exist. And I was like, oh, I thought they were like unicorns. Humans just wanted to attach a horn to like a random animal. It's like, no, Becky, they exist. It's like, okay. La baleine. This is a whale. It's a whale. A little adorable whale. Yeah, that is actually, that also seems like it would fall in the category of simple project. The last time I made a whale, it was like so big. Actually, there was a time where I got invited over to one of my cousin's house to watch like the Kentucky Derby. It's like the only time I've ever watched the Kentucky Derby. And I brought a whale as a housewarming gift for my aunt who was running the event. Anyway, my cousin was pregnant at the time, and the fact that I brought the whale ended up influencing the design of the baby's room. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Cool. Les two pattes. Huh. This is weird. So, I see 4 different animals here. I see a rabbit, a mouse, a bear, and a dog. But the bear and the dog have the same colors, and the rabbit and the mouse have the same colors. Like, so this, I'm guessing, is like, hey, we're going to give you 2 different patterns to make, and you decide which one you want to make. I mean, I guess we're going to see, or it's like, you decide, we're going to give you the basic pattern, and then you decide what you're going to make based off of that. I mean, that looks nice and simple, but it would be confusing to know which pattern I'm following. I mean, that would be difficult in English, honestly. Like, if I didn't know how to crochet, if I didn't understand the pattern crochet books, that would be difficult to know. Oh! Same picture. So, le petit lapin, le petit ours, le petit souris, le petit chien. Okay. I get it now. So it's not all the same pattern. But they're very similar patterns. There's, I guess the fact it starts with the little rabbit, the little mouse, the little bear, and the little dog. They decided to like pair them together in this part. So it's kind of like a theme. It's kind of like when you make like stuffed animals. It's like, oh, you made the mama kangaroo, now you need to make the little baby Joey kangaroo to go in her pouch. That might not be the best example, but that's what it makes me think of. Ooh, we have a little squirrel here. Cute squirrel. Okay. Le llama. We have a llama. It's interesting, like the phrase I have about llamas. I have in Spanish and not in French. It's las llamas no son ranas. I don't know why Monty Python was insistent on telling us that llamas weren't frogs, but okay, Monty Python. That one seems a little bit more gawky compared to some of the other ones. Le chat. It's a little cat. Yeah, these feel like they would fit into the palm of my hand, honestly. Le dinosaur. I love me a good reptile. Yeah, that's adorable. Oh my gosh. Like the orange spikes and the green body and it looks like they're doing French knots for eyes instead of like the safety eyes. Ooh, versus Le Dragon. We have a dragon. I think this is the first time I've had a pattern for a dragon. Like, a lot of my animals that I get tend to be, like, real animals. Not so much, like, mystical fantasy ones. Like, I do have, like, a lot of... I did recently get a dinosaur book, so... in a way, that's kind of more mystical, except dinosaurs actually existed at one point. But I think it's the first time I've seen, like, a dragon one. That could be intriguing. I do like dragons. Followed by the cow. Not Podge. Here's a dragon. Now we're going to give you the dragon's food. Hey, what? I don't know what dragons eat, but I feel like dragons would eat a cow. I don't know why. That one looks awkward and cute. That cow. I have made some awkward cows before. Mostly because, well, not really as like a full body figured, but I have this cow pillow pattern that I've made a couple times. Have La Giraffe. Oh, okay. I mean, this is a giraffe. I do have a giraffe pattern that I like, that I've done several times before. The thing that gives me pause about this pattern is the fact that the spots are like sewn on. And I already know from experience, the more that I have to sew, the less likely I want to do that part of the project. So, I don't see myself doing the giraffe here, especially since it's like so small. Le panda. I mean, yeah, panda. I could see that being intriguing, but I'm not really intrigued by that one. Especially, like, at this point, like, when I first opened the book, like, I was just like, oh, all these patterns, cool. And now I'm, like, later on in the book, I'm seeing, like, all these other different patterns, and it's like, I'm comparing them to the patterns before, you know? Oh, Le koala. The koala is cuter than the panda here. And la tortue. We have our little turtle. Now, I already know that I'm not going to be doing the turtle because I have a different plan regarding turtles in the future. To make sure if I end up wanting to, like, dropping any spoilers there. But that's a kind of a cute turtle. Le Penguin. You know, I just recently transferred a duck pattern into a penguin. Just so I could make, like, a little small penguin. And then I got this book in the mail. It has a little penguin, but honestly, this book wouldn't have been in time for what I wanted to make the penguin for. So, but cute. So cute. This is, like, one of the closest representations to a penguin I have ever seen. Like, you can definitely get the sense of the little waddly effect. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Because I know what it wants me to say. I know how I would attempt to pronounce it with a French accent. But it's a seal. It's a seal, and this is adorable. Again, they chose white yarn on a white background, so you can barely see it. But this is a seal, and from what I can see, it's like, that looks freaking adorable. Oh wait, there are stars. There are difficulty stars. I did not notice that till now. I'm just choosing these depending on like, oh yeah, there's this, there's that. I guess in that case, I probably shouldn't choose something that is like super easy because I just might finish it. Like, I want something with a bit of a challenge. Even if I don't make the seal for this video, I will be making that in the future. L'oiseau, see, more proper birds. These are like parrots, but wings. Wings, not arms. Even if there's like no feet for these parrots, for like these parrots. Oh yeah, and these end up having like little feathers that like go up top. Le Hérisson. Oh, so the hedgehog. It's a hedgehog. I mean, this part is added after the fact, I would assume. That seems like it would be fun to pet. We have come to La Grenouille. This is a frog. Frogs are my favorite animals. This is their frog. I can make a frog. This frog kind of looks like the sad Kermit. And I love myself some Kermit. Like, don't get me wrong there. Kermit is one of my favorite characters of all time. But that's like sad Kermit. like the little stuffed animal you see in the memes, just like, I don't know why it makes me think like small boy, like SMOL. No. Yeah, SMOL, then boy, like BOI. It's like, that could be cute though. Just like, this person's like, yeah, this one's going to encourage me to do my job at work. Although, to be fair, I am weird enough that most of my coworkers don't really bat an eye at this point. There's some stuff that I thought like, oh, this is weird. Someone's going to comment on this, and then no one comments on it. And it's like, oh, I guess we haven't crossed the bar of requiring questions. It's just like, oh yeah, this is something that Becky does. Okay. Anyway, we have l'elephant. I mean, that's a cute elephant. Le hippopotame. Oh, it's a hippopotamus. Oh. It's adorable. I have a little stuffed animal of like, I think it's a hippo that I really enjoyed when I was younger. I think I still have it. I've given away a lot of my stuffed animals, but I probably wouldn't have given away that one. Most of the stuffed animals I give away are ones I make. Then La Cerise. It's another mouse. I don't really see myself going for a mouse this time around. Also, this one's green for whatever reason. I guess the designer just wanted to have some fun. And we have hit the end of the patterns. Because now I see Kahir technique. And I see 3 of the same cat along a ruler. So it says, like, these animals can seem like they're difficult, but you just have to have patience with the materials. I mean, yeah. Also, I have to remind myself to have patience with me because I'm doing it in a language I don't understand. That's another challenge I'm giving myself here. The cantillon. Oh, yes. Wait. So, all 3 options of levels of how difficult it is facile. All have easy in it. So it goes like very easy, easy, and less easy would be my guess. But we are hoping for the important page. Oh, this is something. It says tout están de les détails, which is something like it's all in the details, and then it has a bunch of animal faces. So I'm guessing this is about how to sew on different types of animal faces. Because, I mean, this book is a little bit more realistic in how it presents the animals. Ah! Yes. So I don't really know the abbreviations, but now we have the part of how to do the... This is telling me how to crochet. So la bride, la demi-bride, la double bride, les cercles magiques. Magic circle, okay. Yep. Augmentation, la diminution, that's understood. Now it has different sewing ideas. No. They don't have an abbreviation page. What? Oh boy. Well, you know what? I guess they don't need an abbreviation page because they include the abbreviations on the front of every pattern, yeah? So, I guess you know the little effects, and then if I don't understand what the long term is, then I can go to the techniques and see what it says. Which is a little bit more complicated, but it's doable, honestly. And I guess what remains for me now is to choose a pattern to go with. I have a couple different choices. But I think I'm going to follow my heart. I love frogs. I'm going to make the frog. Why not? Even though that is one of the saddest frogs I've ever seen. I'm a simple girl. I like frogs. Although, because these are like so small, I could see myself easily going back to this in the future and attempting some of the other ones as well. But yeah, we're going to start with the frog, which is about as difficult as I can make it. So the next time I pick up crocheting in French, we will be starting with la grenouille. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.